Every day, Human Resources Command faces the challenge of providing our customers with world-class service while safeguarding the invaluable information entrusted to us by the U.S. Army. Failure to properly secure the systems that are so crucial to our mission can result in compromised records and, most importantly, a loss of trust in HRC's ability to safeguard each and every soldier's personal information. We should be mindful of our information assurance responsibilities, and that includes notifying the proper chain of command if you make a mistake or know of a security vulnerability created by a coworker. Pay close attention to the following scenarios. What you may consider inconsequential can have far-reaching impacts on the life of a soldier or family member. And depending on the seriousness of the situation, it can also be detrimental to your own career. Does anyone actually monitor who enters the buildings of HRC?
No, sometimes.
You mean physically, like physical access? Is that what you're saying, or just
Does anyone monitor who enters the buildings? Yes, I would assume there is someone monitoring who enters and leaves.
We have CAC card access to make sure that who comes in and out is authorized.
Here's a common scene every day at HRC. In an effort to be helpful, how many of us would have held open an entrance door, allowing another to enter the building without scanning their common access card? Each time a person's CAC is scanned by the card reader at one of the building's entrances, a digital log is generated of who has entered the complex. If someone piggybacks onto another person's CAC, then there is no record of that person's access. While we all like to be helpful, we must remember that no one should enter the complex without properly scanning their common access card first. Do you know what the consent to monitoring message says?
No, I don't know what the consent to monitoring message says.
The message of the day, it's asking you random questions from anything IT related to basic knowledge of entering.
Pretty much saying you're aware of what you're doing while you're using government computers.
we're giving HRC permission to monitor what we do on our desktops? I think that's about it.
When you were a new employee, you probably carefully read the consent to monitoring banner that automatically appears when you turn on your computer each morning. But after a while, do we still pay attention to this important message? Each time your CAC is inserted into a card reader, that information is tracked and saved for future review. In today's information-centric society, there is no resource more valuable to our mission than the ability to access a secure network environment. How important is this security? It is this simple: no CAC, no access to the military networks. Do you know what PII stands for?
PII stands for Personal Information.
Easy answer is personal information.
PII stands for Personal Identifiable.
I do, but I'm blanking right now.
Personal identification information.
PII, Personally Identifiable Information.
PII, or personally identifiable information, such as social security numbers, must always be encrypted if transmitted via email. HRC users send and receive millions of emails annually, and all of these emails are archived. Through scanning and forensics, the command can identify those emails that put PII data at risk. Never leave your CAC in your computer unless you are sitting right next to it. For those of us who work in common areas, it only takes a moment for someone to remove your CAC, or worse, to use your card to access your email, an application, or a network drive. Does HRC monitor your website activity?
I really don't know, honestly. I believe so.
If you try to open up stuff, it might be possibly blocked.
They don't personally monitor it, but they have filters on the server.
More on the NATE side is where more monitoring would be going on.
I should operate under the assumption that they are monitoring the websites that we visit.
Website visit activity. Yes, they monitor.
You hit the wrong one, you're going to get pinged.
Perhaps because of your job, or as allowed by DoD regulations, you may have reasons each day to access websites outside of the .mil domain. While most HRC, job-related, and common interest websites are unrestricted from your government computer, there are websites that IT security officials have determined are potentially hazardous to government networks and are blocked. And there are other sites that are blocked because of inappropriate content. That list is reviewed daily and updated as needed. It is expected that everyone use common sense and refrain from attempting to visit websites that reflect poor personal judgment. All access via the web is tracked and monitored to include the number of times that the site was visited and how long was spent browsing the site. Can HRC monitor your personal email?
I'd say no. The sites that you're visiting, and possibly, I'm 99.9% sure that they can.
I guess reality, anyone could monitor it if you have enough know-how and what to do.
If you're working on things from work and you bring it home, I believe they can monitor it.
If I don't want them to read my personal email, then I should just wait till I get home.
Always remember that any internet connection that is made via a government computer system is subject to monitoring. HRC security applications are constantly scanning all email text, both official and private, for keywords that could expose threats or inappropriate content. When using a government computer, it is best to assume your actions are always being monitored and to act accordingly. Remember, you only have to be caught once to bring your actions to attention. When should you look at others' PII?
I would say if you have the need to know.
I'm assuming only when it is requested or you're authorized.
We're not supposed to have PII running around just out there, so.
Not outside of the workplace.
I think it's depending on the job you have, your job title.
But it's not appropriate for me to just go into the system that has a soldier's information and just start digging around to see what I can find.
Many of you are given access to databases and soldier records that contain critical personal information about every member of the U.S. Army. Access to this data should be limited and only occur when it relates to a successful completion of your mission. Curiosity about the contents of an individual record is never an acceptable reason for viewing PII. At least twice each month, HRC experiences what we call spillage, the posting of classified information or PII data on an unclassified platform. Always remember, each time a record or file is accessed, there is a digital trail that can be traced back to that individual workstation or common access card. Are you allowed to hook up your personal cell phone to a government computer to charge it?
No.
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 That answer would be no.
No, I am not allowed to do that.
You are not allowed to hook your personal cell phone up to a government computer.
It is a method to charge your phone. It is not a method that is authorized or encouraged at all anywhere on a government computer.
But no. That is absolutely no. Not supposed to do it.
Non-government personal devices, such as cell phones, thumb drives, or Bluetooth devices, pose perhaps the greatest risk to our information security at HRC. Any attempt to attach such devices will be blocked by our enterprise security applications. But it only takes one device loaded with malicious software to sneak by our defenses to make the system vulnerable to deliberate attacks that could cause millions of dollars in damage or worse. The most likely information security threat to our mission comes from within the HRC workforce. Unfortunately, we are frequently our own worst enemy when it comes to protecting our resources. We all must remember that failure to guard our customers' data from unnecessary risk is inexcusable and could even be subject for dismissal or prosecution. Thank you for your efforts to make HRC a secure place to work and to fulfill our important mission.